Namaste, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra and I'm going to take you through a solar plexus chakra yoga flow. Before I get into that, I want to say welcome to the brand new Yoga with Kassandra studio space. This is my first time filming here in this new setup. If you haven't watched that welcome video just yet, I am going to be changing the space a little bit. It's still carpeted, which is not ideal for standing balancing poses, but I have to say it is really comfortable for things like low lunges and for yin yoga. But this is where I'll be filming my classes from now on. So of course, we're still doing a few updates to the room, but I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy the classes that I produce here in my new home out in the country. Okay, that's all I needed to say about that. So this is a solar plexus chakra flow, Manipura chakra, located right at the area right here through the abdomen. This has to do with self-esteem, willpower, determination, your confidence, and the place you feel comfortable occupying in the world. So your ability to stand up for yourself, to make things happen, and to generally feel good about who you are. So these chakra balancing practices are all about finding a nice equilibrium so that we don't have these energetic centers underactive or overactive. So an underactive Manipura chakra would be low self-esteem, low self-worth, an inability to complete tasks when you start them, whereas an overactive solar plexus chakra would be an inflated sense of ego, maybe a little bit of bullying nature, and an overactive drive overall. So I guess Cleo will be joining us for this practice. All right, no props are required for this one, and we're going to start in banana pose, Bananasana, so laying all the way down on your back. And you can bring your hips a little bit over to the right as you lower down, and your ankles can go over to the left, bringing your shoulders and your head also to the left. I like to bring my arms up overhead, holding onto the forearms or the wrists. And if you'd like, you can also cross your right ankle over the left one. Try to push your right hip down, so keep the entire front of your body facing up towards the sky. So most of our poses will be working to compress, decompress the area of the solar plexus. So you can expect some side bends, some core work, as well as some twists in this practice. And as you take some deep breaths in and out through your nose, you might visualize this Manipura chakra glowing bright yellow like the sun, right in the space just below the rib cage, above your navel, your center of determination and willpower. Take 3 more breaths. And we can ease our way to this reclined side bend on the other side. Uncrossing your ankles, and your hips will go towards the left side of your mat. Head and shoulders to the right. Walk your ankles out to the right. Push that left hip down, and maybe you cross your left ankle over the right one. And begin to ask yourself what a balanced solar plexus would look like for you. So maybe it tends to be underactive, maybe overactive. What would equilibrium look like and feel like? to be confident without being arrogant, to have healthy self-esteem, to be productive without necessarily being needlessly busy. Take your last few breaths here. And make your way back through to center. Uncross the legs and go ahead and bring your legs in towards you. Give it a big squeeze, maybe rocking a little bit side to side, massaging through your stomach, through the abdomen. And you might even widen your knees. If you'd like, you can come into your happy baby pose, taking a hip opener here, whatever is comfortable to you. And our feet can lower down to the ground, hip width distance apart. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, pressing up into your bridge pose. Squeeze into your glutes and lift. Try to hug in through your inner thighs so you're not letting your knees splay open wider than your hips. Push into your big toe. I don't know if you can hear Cleo purring. And slowly come all the way back down. Go ahead and straighten your legs and point through your toes. You're going to interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. Really open up your elbows and find some length here. Draw your lower belly down so navel is pressing down towards the floor, and reach long through your legs. We're going to take some circle crunches, so tracing big circles with your elbows and with your upper body, going over to the right. So reach out through your right elbow as you circle up to the left and down. 2 more like this. Keep the length in your legs. 1 more over to the right. And now reverse to the other direction, over to the left, crunching up and down, left, up, right, down. Last one. And lowering down, and now lift all the way up to center. See if you can lift both shoulder blades off the floor. Keep the back of your neck long, and go ahead and lift your right leg just a few inches off the floor. Point through the toes. And exhale to release. Switching sides, lift up, and go ahead and reach through your left leg, slightly turned out, and release. This time, go ahead and lift your upper body only, and we're gonna tap the right toes up, so lifting up and down. Stay lifted up and down, so just the leg is moving. 2 more. And lift and lower, stay up, switch legs. Left leg up and down, you should feel it. Contract through your abdominals. Lift both shoulder blades off the floor. Heel comes down and release. Stretch your arms up overhead. Lengthen out here. And now reach your arms towards your heels. You're gonna tuck your chin towards your chest, and as you inhale, see if you can curl all the way up. You can always grab a hold of your thighs in order to lift up. Reach your arms up, really push the chest forward. And as you exhale, we're gonna round all the way down, really slowly with control. And inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, slowly lower. Last one here. Chin to chest, lift, and release your arms by your sides. Let's take a seated twist. Bend into your right knee, and you can cross your right foot over the top of your left thigh. Holding onto that leg with your left arm, right fingertips behind you, open up. See if you can lengthen your spine a little bit more even when you're in this twist. And release. Switching sides, right leg forward. Cross your left foot over the top of your thigh. Try to keep your knee pointing up towards the ceiling as you hold onto it. Left fingertips behind you, open through your chest. A little bit of core activation. We're now moving into some twists. And let's release tabletop pose on your hands and your knees. Palms under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's take 3 rounds of our cat and cow. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift the gaze, curl tailbone up, big stretch. Exhale, round and contract, release your head. 2 more like this, inhale. And exhale. Focusing on that solar plexus area, last one. Now find your neutral tabletop pose. You want your spine parallel to the ground and really activate and engage through your abdominals here. So lots of integrity, flattening out the lower back. You're gonna reach your right leg up and back, roll your right hip down. So keep the front of your leg facing the floor. And this time, we're moving into a different variation of 2-legged table pose. Lean on your left side and see if you can reach that right arm up. So same side, arm and leg lifted. Really try to keep wrapping your right hip down. Try not to face open to the side. You want to keep everything as much as possible facing towards the floor. Squeeze and lift. And now go ahead and open it up. Right arm reaches to the sky. Keep pressing into that back heel as if you were kicking a wall behind you. Squeeze into the glute to lift that foot up even higher. And drop your right heel down. Reach your arm up and over. Big side body stretch. Looking down to the floor, right hand down. Reach your right heel up towards the sky. Bend into the knee this time. Let your belly drop as you lift your gaze. Maybe holding here or transitioning to your tiger pose. Reaching for your back foot. Holding on with your left hand and kicking the foot into the palm. Big stretch into your shoulders. Open into your heart. Carefully letting go. We're gonna step the right foot forward in between our palms to the top of the mat. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Extend up. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lengthen your tailbone down. Really engage your core in this pose. Try not to relax your belly in this one. And we'll add on a twist, keeping it a fairly gentle twist as we're just warming up here. You're gonna bring your left hand to the outer edge of your knee. Feel your knee push against the palm and you want your palm to resist against it. And now open into a twist. I like to just bring my right hand to my low back as I roll the right shoulder back. So I am not going as low as I can in this lunge. Instead, I'm staying a little bit more lifted than I normally would in order to twist a little bit deeper. One more big breath. And looking forward, you're gonna frame that front foot, tuck the back toes under, 3-legged dog, right leg extends all the way up to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. Straighten and square the right leg, regular downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Curling tailbone up to the sky, draw your lower belly in, stretch out long through your arms, long through your spine. And let's take a cleansing breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth with a big sigh. So inhale. Letting it go. Let's ripple forward into our plank pose before lowering all the way down to your belly. Point your toes back. Once you're there, 3 baby cobras. Inhale, chin, chest, palms come off the floor. Keep your feet glued to the mat. Exhale to lower. Press into your toes. Inhale, lift upper body only. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, press back, tabletop pose on hands and knees. Fingertips spreading wide. Try to really push into your big knuckles and into your fingertips. So take some of the weight out of your wrists. Cat and cow as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round and contract. One more. Moving into our two-legged table pose, find a flat back. Try to keep yourself facing down towards the mat as much as possible. As you extend that left leg back, roll the left hip down and really draw your lower belly in. This is a core strengthening pose. Try not to curve too much into your low back. Find something to keep your gaze on to hold your balance, and when you're ready, left arm will extend forward. Wobbling is normal. Practicing on carpet definitely makes balancing a lot harder, but also more comfortable for joints. Squeeze and lift, and let's open out to the side. So reach your left arm up to the sky and see if you can even lift your left leg up higher. Maybe gazing up at your thumb. Activating through your glutes. Side body stretch. Foot comes down, reach your arm, bicep along the ear. Looking down to the floor, transitioning to our tiger pose. Kick that left heel up towards the sky, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Maybe you stay here, or you add on by reaching back with your right hand, holding onto the foot and kicking the foot into the palm. Keep that left thigh hugging into the midline. Don't let your leg open out to the side. Let's carefully release, step it forward. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Bringing your knee over your ankle, shoulder blades down your back. Initiate your twist from here, right hand to the outer edge of your knee. Push your knee into your hand, feel your hand resist, and bring your left hand to your low back. So staying slightly lifted in this lunge, not collapsing all the way down. And having the hand on your low back, you can kind of encourage your tailbone to lengthen a little bit more. And looking forward, plant the palms. We're going to our three-legged dog. Left leg extends up, bend into your knee, open up your hip. Try to squeeze to lift that knee up even higher. And let's straighten and square. Drop the left leg down. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's take a cleansing breath again here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, plank. Lower all the way to your belly. 3 baby cobras, point your toes. Inhale, upper body floats up. Exhale, lowering down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. And release. Balasana, child's pose. Reach your hips towards your heels. You can have your knees as wide as you would like here. Arms either reaching back or out in front of you. We'll take a good 5 deep breaths right here in the pose. Using this as an opportunity to slow down your heart rate by taking slower, longer, deeper breaths. And building up some heat with our practice as a way to charge up this Manipura chakra, glowing bright yellow like the sun. This is all about your connection to yourself. And from here, let's transition into our dolphin pose. So keep your forearms on the mat, and you want to be able to really grab a hold of your biceps. So not just like touching the insides, but really like a firm grab. And then go ahead and plant your palms to the floor, tuck your toes under, and lift your hips up and back. And you can always walk your feet in a little bit closer here. We're just gonna hold this pose for a few breaths, building up even more internal heat. Totally normal for your heels to be lifted off the floor. Try to keep the crown of your head off the mat. Curling tailbone up, draw your navel in. Into your forearm plank, walk your feet back. Stay on your forearms, drop your hips, reach the crown of your head forward. Find some length. Into your Sphinx pose, hips come down to the floor, lift up through your heart. And downward facing dog, take your time to get there. From this down dog, let's walk our feet forward to the top of the mat, ragdoll fold. So feel free to bend your knees, whatever feels good here. Maybe adding a bit of a sway, stretching into the back of your legs. And let's take one more cleansing breath in this pose, in through the nose, big exhale out your mouth. Release your hands to the ground, roll all the way up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Rolling your shoulders down and away from your ears. Standing at the top of the mat, bring your feet just a little bit more narrow than hip width distance apart. So we don't necessarily want our feet together, just a little bit of space between them. Before we come into our chair pose, Utkatasana, sink your hips down, extend your arms up, really draw the navel in, lengthen your tailbone down, activate through your core here. So when you look down, you don't want your knees to be touching. You want them to have a little bit of space between them. Bring your hands together at your heart. Lean on your right leg a little bit and see if you can just hover your left foot off the floor while keeping a deep, generous bend in your right leg. And come all the way up to stand. Bring that left knee up with you. Initiating a twist from here, bring your right hand to your left knee or shin, whatever you can hold on to. Left arm is gonna open up to the side. So you're trying to pull your thigh in towards you. Hips facing forward. Chest facing towards the long edge of your mat. And now as lightly as you can, transition to your warrior two, Virabhajasana 2, stepping that left foot all the way back. So now my hips, my shoulders, everything is facing the long edge of the mat, except my right knee, which is pointing directly forward over that second and third toe. Expand out through your arms. So engaging the obliques, even here as you inhale, dancing warrior, reverse back, and switch, extended side angle. So floating through the arms, dancing through it, inhale, curl back. Exhale, extend forward. Last one like this, inhale. And exhale. Holding here, drop your right hand to your thigh for extended side angle. Roll your left shoulder back, extend even more through those left fingertips. Keep bending into your front knee. Looking down to the mat, let's find our easy twist. Left hand down, right arm up. And we'll transition into Vashisthasana, side plank, coming into a tree pose variation. So Vrikshasana, Vashisthasana. Right arm extends all the way up and over. Really push into your left foot to lift the hips up even higher. You might choose to stay here or take a little wild thing. Right toes step back behind you. Lift your hips up. One big breath into your vinyasa plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward dog. From this down dog, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Ragdoll fold. Holding onto your elbows, and we'll take a cleansing breath whenever you're ready. Roll up, Tadasana. Same thing again here, bring your feet not quite together, just a couple inches apart. Utkatasana, chair pose. Without collapsing the knees together, you want a little bit of that invisible resistance. Lengthen your tailbone down. Hands at your heart, lean over to the left and just float the right foot a few inches off the floor while staying low. And push to stand, bring that right knee up with you. And we transition into a twist. So you'll bring your left hand to your right leg, right arm opens up. And the more you're able to draw the belly in and up, the deeper you'll be able to twist. And Virabhadrasana, warrior two, step that right foot all the way back. Back foot is parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Squeeze that left knee open, arms out. And our dancing warrior, reverse as you inhale. Exhale to extended side angle. Try not to move your legs and your hips. Inhale, curl it back. Exhale, extend it forward. Engage your core. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Holding our extended side angle, place your left hand wherever is appropriate. So I'm just bringing my forearm down on my thigh, rolling the right shoulder back, big diagonal line from your right fingertips all the way to your right foot. Easy twist, right hand to the floor, left arm up. This is really just our transition for that Vrikshasana, Vashisthasana variation, tree pose in our side plank. So this time your left foot will move to the inside of that thigh, left arm reaching up and over. Try to press your hips up. Maybe you hold here, or maybe you find wild thing. Vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, down dog. All right, from Adho Mukha Svanasana, reach your right leg up to the sky, bend your knee and open up your hip. Squeeze into your glutes. And we're gonna step the right foot a few inches behind our right wrist. So not all the way to the top of the mat. Go ahead and roll onto the outer edges of both feet. So you want all 10 toes to be pointing to the right, to the long edge of your mat. Lean on your left hand and reach your right arm up and over. So this is a variation of Vashisthasana side plank. As you inhale, push into your feet to lift your hips up. And on the exhale, let your hips dip down as you reach your arm to the back. So big lateral stretch. Inhale, push up, engage your obliques. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale. And roll so your right hand comes back down to the floor. Point your right toes so they're facing forward to the top of the mat. We're coming into our warrior three. Kick that back leg up. Keep that left hip rotating down towards the floor. And when you're feeling stable, start to lift your chest and your arms. Any variation of this pose. So hips are squared. At most, you are parallel to the floor. Try not to dip your chest too low. And we'll come all the way up to stand. This time, go ahead and cross your left ankle over the top of your right knee. Coming into our standing pigeon pose. So as you bend in your right knee, you're trying to also send your hips back, moving your chest forward. Press to stand, reach your arms up to the sky. Grab a hold of your right wrist and crescent over. Inhale to center, switch sides, crescent over. Inhale to center, swan dive, fold it down. Taking your vinyasa, halfway lift, flat back. Plant your palms, you can step or hop, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward dog. Setting ourselves up for the second side, left leg up, bend your knee, open up your hip. And we're gonna step the foot just a few inches behind your left wrist and go ahead and roll to the outer edges of both feet. You're leaning on your right hand only, all toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Reach your left arm overhead, push into your feet to really lift your hips up high, and then exhale, dip them down, working on oblique strength. Inhale, push and lift back up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to dip, and the next time we lift up, just keep rotating the shoulder so your hand comes to the floor. Turn so that you have your toes pointing forward. We're coming to our warrior three. Standing tall on that left leg, right leg extends back. And when you're feeling as balanced as you can, this carpet is really challenging me. But this is where a Manipura chakra comes into play. This is your determination, your willpower, and also relationship to self-esteem, not taking things personally if things don't go your way. So being aware of our inner critic, how we speak to ourselves, how we judge ourselves. Coming all the way up, finding standing pigeon pose, so right ankle crosses over the top of your left knee, and start to bend into that left knee, hips go back. Reach your chest forward, hands at your heart. Sinking it a little lower. Come all the way up, arms reach up, grab a hold of one wrist, crescent over. Inhale to center, switch sides, exhale. Back through to center, our final flow, swan dive. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog, down dog. And from this down dog, bring your knees to the floor. We're gonna come into our side sphinx pose, so a big side body stretch. You can roll onto your right hip, extend your legs out, and you can either just come down onto your forearm to make this a little bit easier, side body stretch, or you can straighten that right arm to get a little deeper into it. Taking a good 5 deep breaths here. Breathe deep into your belly. And we're just gonna make our way to the other side. I'm gonna stay so that I'm facing you, but you guys can just roll over. This time you're aligning your right leg over the left one, either staying up on your left palm or down on your left forearm. And I like to just bring my right hand in front of me. It's just like a little kickstand so I don't roll over. And totally normal for one side to feel very, very different from the other. Three more breaths. And lower all the way down onto your back. And we'll come into laying spinal twist. So any variation that you'd like for me at home, or for me, what I'm gonna be doing is just pulling my right knee in towards my belly, crossing that thigh over, and you can reach your right arm out to the side. Maybe stay here, or you can also straighten your right leg if you'd like to stretch down into your IT band. Try to keep both shoulder blades grounded. Three more breaths in this twist. If your right leg was straight, bend it back, coming back through to center. And we'll move into our twist on the second side, this time drawing your left knee in towards you. And we're gonna cross that over. Reach out long through your left arm and maybe stay here, or you can just straighten that left leg. Stay with this visualization of that glowing yellow sun right at your own center of being. I am confident. I am driven. And let's bend that left leg. Come all the way back through to center. And just like we did at the beginning, might feel good to pull your knees in towards you. Rocking a little side to side, maybe in this way or through happy baby pose. And when you're ready, make your way to Savasana, our final resting pose. Take up some space. Allow yourself to soften. Shrugging your shoulders away from your ears, closing your eyes. Maybe even feeling into this pulsation through the abdomen. finding balance. Just check in to see how this practice has affected you physically, mentally, emotionally. And allow yourself to linger here for a few minutes of integration. And breathing a little deeper, invite some movement back into your body. Wiggle fingers and toes, and you can stretch your arms up overhead, lengthening it all out. And we'll turn to one side. Take a moment to pause here in this fetal pose. Really honoring this transition. And you can lift your way up, taking a seat. Sitting up tall. And closing your eyes once you're there. Hands joining at the front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Make this one last connection to the Manipura, solar plexus chakra. And we'll close with the chant of Om one time. We inhale to chant. Big breath in. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing this solar plexus yoga flow with me. I hope it helped you connect to this energetic center. It was certainly a powerful practice, and I hope you like this new Yoga with Kassandra studio. If you'd like to stay a little longer on your mat, this would be a great chakra meditation to follow this up with, to really anchor these principles. And please do subscribe to my channel. I put out multiple videos every week. Thank you again. Namaste.